What's going on, family? What's going on? All right, y'all. Make sure y'all pray for me on my journey of my recovery journey of stopping to stop smoking cigarettes. Going on this recovering journey. You know what I'm saying? That definitely helped. You know, a nice prayer. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible. You know, God makes what's the impossible obstacle possible. So you know what I'm saying? Pray for me on my stop smoking cigarettes. You know, so I could be more healthy and stuff like that. Not dependent on nicotine and things like that. So it's a process, and I'm thankful for it. You know, I'm thankful for it. God is opening the doors of opportunity. You know what I'm saying? You take what you can get till you get where you need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thankful for the opportunities. You know, it's just like God always come through, not when you expect it, but just out of nowhere, it just comes through with that heavenly uppercut. Boom. God just comes through with that unexpected, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, look like just about to duck down, and then out of nowhere, just a uppercut out of nowhere, heavily uppercut. At least just unexpected. You know what I'm saying? So boom, just you know, thank God for that. You know, just opening doors of opportunity, and you know, hopefully one day in the future I'll be able to speak more than one tongue. I only know how to speak the English tongue. You know what I'm saying? But you know, hopefully I'll be able to speak the Spanish tongue as well. You know what I mean? Because I get the basics, but other than that, it just starts forming that. You know what I mean? Real quick, real proper, like. But once they start talking with their hands, I start getting an idea of, you know what I mean, of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Because just, you know, just thank God for the Spanish people. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's cool restaurant. You know, got a lot of the angelic faces and da 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 da. You know, and they work with you. They be cool. But if you don't grasp, you don't comprehend. You know, they're not finna, you know, play with you. You know what I'm saying? Just as quick as the tongue rolls, they on the road when it comes to that work. You know what I'm saying? Just as quick as that tongue be rolling, that's as quick as them gotitas and, you know, flatos be rolling. You know what I'm saying? The flatos and the gotitas and the asadas. You know what I mean? And the cilantro and things like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to be on it. And you know, I thank God because now I'm expanding on, you know, more things to learn, more things to absorb, and just keep going from there. You know, it don't stop. You know what I'm saying? You just always got to keep in mind what are you doing it for? What is the purpose, the driving force that keep you consistent, that keep you grounded? You know what I'm saying? It's God. And you know what I'm saying? Your family. You know, the people you love. You just keep striving and thriving. You know what I'm saying? You don't be in the selfish intent of giving up because a lot of doors is closing on you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of doors of opportunity be closing on you. You know what I mean? And then sometimes things can look a little bit rough. You know what I mean? I seen so many dogs lately, people walking, you know, it's the pattern, you know, people walk dogs. We get that. But when you're in the program, you understand the pattern. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the dog walkers, they just stand out. You know what I'm saying? Just stand out. All different areas, different places, they just stand out. You know, the pattern recognition. You just see clearly, you know, the pattern. You know what I mean? It's like when you're looking at a painting and you don't really see the pattern because it's just normal. But when you get sensitized, you can see Waldo right in the painting. You know, another person probably couldn't find Waldo in the painting, but you could see the Waldos in the painting. And for this specific Waldos and this reality that's being painted, is dog walkers. And not just people walking dogs, dogs in the cars, and like the side of the street that I'm on, the dog is facing that side. Or sometimes the dog may be facing the opposite side. But they make sure they have the dog sticking their head out the window, in the back of their trucks. The dogs be in the back of the trucks looking at me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like very crafty ways on how they signal the target. You know what I mean? I don't know what that's about. Like why they won't do it another sophisticated way. What is the tradition of, you know what I mean? They marking people with dogs, that's in this program. If you're not in this program, don't make sense. But when you're in this program, you know exactly what I'm talking about with the pattern of the dogs. You know what I'm saying? They have very sophisticated ways. They have, the famous LED lights, which they haven't been doing too much of. Like before, once upon a time, it was a lot of cars, especially at night with the LED lights, especially when I was walking. LED lights, like the purplish red lights, bluish red lights, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes they may make it seem like they have party lights on their cars, but then I'll see that LED light and then it'll start fading on to different colors of the like club lights on their cars. You know what I'm saying? Little neon lights or whatnot, whatever. But now they haven't been really on that much, but I still see the LED lights just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? All right. Just not too long ago, it was like a bunch of red cars too, but they'll calm down on that. Every day it's not the same, but certain areas it'd be like like when I was, looking for jobs, looking for opportunities, it was like a lot of red cars, a lot of red trucks, cherry red, because it's a difference. Like they got the burgundy red and they got the cherry red. And I think they have different significance in it, but usually when I see the cherry red, it's like danger, danger, red zone. You know what I'm saying? Everything's a little bit hostile. You get what I'm saying? So, but things is starting to calm down just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's just my thing is just staying focused, staying out the way, being on stealth mode, doing what I need to do, working, grinding, absorbing as much information and comprehending the best that I can comprehend and just apply that knowledge into my everyday life. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to always be like this, but I strive to elevate and do better. And I just strive not to let my temper or whatever get the best of me and know when it's the time to go to the managers or the higher ups about situations. Because now when you being a TI targeted individual, you can't let your temper, you can't let your anger, your attitude or whatnot get the best of you. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you let people do you any type of way, but saying when they do that, you know what I mean? You got to go to the managers and get the manager to straighten that out. You got to go to the authorities and get the authorities to straighten it out. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn to utilize your resources and stop taking matters in your own hand. For the longest, you know what I mean? I've been good at just staying out the way and staying out of trouble, but certain situations can cause like arguments, altercations, and things like that. I haven't gotten to a fist fight in a while. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful for that. Only moments that I've got is just roughed a couple people up and stuff like that. Or I've been roughed up, I've been jumped, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's all good. But I don't have to put myself in that mindset anymore. I don't have to put myself in that bubble of taking matters in my own hand, because the program will capitalize off of that. So my thing is what I'm focusing on now is just utilizing my resources and just staying focused and doing what I need to do. Focus. That's the key. You know what I'm saying? This program gonna try to make you lose focus, keep you off balance, keep you distracted on things you don't need to be worried about, on people that you don't need to be worried about. You know what I'm saying? Prioritize the things that you need to be worried about. God, your family, God's people, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. and just, you know, fellowshipping with like-minded and positive people, and just striving and thriving and making things work amongst harmony and peace amongst the rest of the community that doesn't believe what you believe, but still creating harmony and peace around people like that, and just keeping it like that. And with that being said, time to go ahead and get on back in there. You know what I'm saying? With the flatas, with the ta 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 ta. You know, no games being played. Peace.